Okay, we're going to end with a fun movie this week. We're going to end with Top Knot Detective, which is a parody of Japanese TV shows and the kind of companies that would invest in TV shows. It's made from Australia. In Australia used to get all these Japanese imports and the directors of this film would see them and enjoy them, and it was just one of those things that they just been entranced by these weird Japanese TV shows. Because I mean, we got the monkey shows in the UK and they were weird, but we didn't get the real weird stuff in the 80s that I guess Australia got. So we never got the full Japanese weird culture thing that they got. So this is a film about the 80s and 90s culture of Japanese strange TV shows as the Japanese film industry had collapsed. So Top Knot Detective is this TV show that is a fictional thing that lasted for one season, and it went through lots of iterations throughout that season. It was a brainchild of this auteur who was this weird guy who mysteriously disappeared after the first season, and as the story goes on you start to find out more about him and more about his methodology and the enemies he made and why he made the show. And basically the big thing about the show is it was a bad show, it was a terrible show. Top Knot Detective was the top knot refers to the top knot in his head because he's a samurai. So he's a samurai sword, but he's also a detective who solves crimes and defeats the villains and can do all these weird things within the narrative. And it's a show that was written week to week. They were making stuff up as they went, and the whole idea is he's trying to hunt down this guy who killed his master and destroy him for killing the master. And you know, that's the plot, and this villain has all these people working for him to help destroy the Top Knot Detective. The Top Knot Detective will defend himself and defend the weak against this villain. And it's just I mean, if you've watched bad 80s shows, you know exactly what it is, but this is put the Japanese weirdness on it, because Japanese is a culture that can go really weird in wonderful ways. That's why I adore Japanese films, because some of the stuff they do is not what we do in the West, but it's wonderful. And this also takes the idea of, in the 80s there's lots of incompetent TV shows that were desperate for material that would throw anything on the screen. Have you ever seen Galactic 1980? You know what I mean. That's in America. And so this one's it's a documentary, it's a mockumentary, kind of like Spinal Tap. Not quite as good as Spinal Tap, but still very enjoyable. And it's looking at, why did this person disappear? Why was there only one season? What happened? Did his ego get that big? And the answer is, yeah, his ego got that big, but there's also nefarious things going on, because it was the Top Knot Detective TV show was financed by this cheap knockoff company that just wanted a product to promote all their variety of knockoff products through. So they got Top Knot Detective, and they had lots of weird tie-ins to their products within it, even though it didn't make any sense for the story. And then throughout the film, you see that getting weirder and weirder and more absurd. And you also see the stories getting more absurd, where one of the villains, the lead villain, is the son of the head of the corporation. Him and the lead actor can't stand each other and hate each other, and because the actor playing Top Knot Detective is liked by the guy's father, he can't get the guy fired. Plus he's a big hit with this stupid TV show that this guy actually thinks is a good show, because he's the auteur of it. It all comes from him. So this guy's taking lots of drugs, getting lots of trouble, and writing these weird TV episodes that are described as like Ed Wood level bad. And you see them, examples of them, and they're all hilariously weird and silly, but you can also see why they're a cult show in this fictional universe. It's just entertaining enough to be interesting. And you see the story go on as one of the other lead villains, this woman, can't stand the guy so much she ends up just quitting the show, and that's when the villains go on to replace with this other actress who looks nothing like her, who the lead actor now falls in love with, and so does the lead villain actor, but she rejects the lead villain actor, and the hero character You know, they fall in love. It gets exposed in the tabloids. She gets fired. The lead actor walks out of the show. Gets replaced by another show that's pretty successful, but then they bring in, which is a kind of kung fu mega robot time travel thing. Then you combine Top Dog Detective and this time travel robot thing for a spin-off as well. Then there's a murder of the guy who runs the company, but the lead actor of Top Dog Detective is actually blamed for, and it becomes a murder mystery. Whereas obviously the guy was too incompetent to ever do anything like that. And it's obvious his son was the guy who killed his father to take over the company. And it's just wonderful, and the story gets weirder and weirder even from there, as you find out all about the details of the, you know, the different partnerships, different egos involved, and all these weird inventive things about how crazy this TV show had got, how like drug addled, and how all these weird connections this guy had, and it turns out the guy was just incompetent. And it's hilariously weird. I mean, it's not laugh out loud funny the way Spinal Tap can be, but it is very enjoyable watching all this weird stuff, because they play it straight and they're not going for the jokes, they're just going for the weirdness of this character. And some of the stuff he does is really funny, but they're doing it as this guy who cannot take criticism, he cannot take reality. Like, he has to dominate every person in his orbit, and it creates enemies, and he's too stupid to realise these enemies are smarter than he is, and they'll get him. And it's just enjoyable to watch this absurd show and how seriously he takes it, no matter how strange it gets. When he gets to the point of a spin-off with a time-travelling robot, and he's still taking it seriously, it's just hilarious and just weird and odd. The whole film's just odd, because the actors play it straight, but they know how absurd they are, and it just really works. It's a wonderfully fun film, which I really enjoyed, and you can get it in streaming, you can get it in Blu-ray or DVD from Third Window Films. It's definitely worth giving a shot. I mean, it's really enjoyable. It's not very long, it's an hour and a half long, so you're not going to have to invest too much time in it, but it is really enjoyable, and it is a nicely inventive movie. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel in any way. You've all seen films like this. If you've seen Garth Marenghi, this is not as good as Garth Marenghi, but it's still very good. Still very enjoyable. So it's a step down from that, but still, if you like that kind of thing, you'll probably enjoy this. So I hope you enjoyed the review. This is my last one for the week. I'll see you later with some more reviews, so bye for now.